Marston's Domain.
Hey everyone, Marson here, and welcome to my brand new series Add-On, where we take an existing game and talk about features that could be added on. So this series isn't really to talk about things that I think are actually coming to the game, it's just a series to talk about different ideas for different games. So for the first episode, it is on, which you could probably tell by the title and thumbnail, it is on Animal Crossing. And the add-on that we're going to be talking about is farming. So growing up, I was always into Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon. And as time went on, I kind of just started to not play Harvest Moon as much. But I was very, very into Animal Crossing, and that never went away. So with Animal Crossing New Horizons, I was kind of hoping that they would expand upon what they had when it came to growing things. And in my opinion, they left it kind of bare bones because we still just have the fruit trees. So I wanted to discuss my idea for adding farming to Animal Crossing New Horizons. So to start things off, I think that the game itself lends itself perfectly to have something like this. Because right now, the only thing that you can even plant that needs watering, and it doesn't even necessarily need it, is the flowers. And the reason why I say it doesn't necessarily need to be watered is because you only water them to breed them. So it's not like you're going on every single day to make sure that your flowers don't die, because they're not going to die. So I feel like if there was actually farming to do, not only would that allow for new tools to be able to be accessed, which I think would add more to the game in general, but it would give you more incentive to go on every day, which I feel like is a big part of Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is a game where you're supposed to kind of take your time, just relax, and do your quote-unquote daily chores. And I feel like as you play the game, and you get closer towards that quote-unquote end game, you start to have less and less that you need to do every day. So I think that having farming in the game would make it so that way there's always constantly something. Because you would have to start by getting the soil and the ground ready, then you would have to plant them, and then you would have to water them, and you would have to do that every day. Then you'd have to check on them in general, and then you would have to pick whatever it is you're growing. So I think it would really add to the overall theme of Animal Crossing of playing every day and having stuff to do. But let's really dive in to what else this could actually offer, because what's the point of growing all this stuff if there's nothing to do with it? So first off, I think that this feature could add a lot to the crafting. I think there'd be a good amount of tools that you could craft that would help with farming. I think you would be able to craft different types of things that would be necessary to do the farming skill. I think that there could be a number of things that you could also craft that would just help in general, or even just give you the ability to do some of this farming stuff. So an example could be if you're trying to grow something that grows really tall and needs support, then you would have to be able to craft whatever support that is. And then there could also be different types of things that you need to look out for. So say you're growing something and then you go on one day and a lot of it's gone because birds were at it. You could be able to craft a scarecrow. And something that can make this very interesting too is I think that they could also add a villager for this skill. I think if they had a villager that kind of dressed up or looked kind of like a scarecrow, I think that could be the villager that helps you with all of your farming needs. And this villager could work similar to how Pascal works, where the things that you grow, you can actually give to this villager, and that can give you rewards such as different types of recipes to craft, possibly different outfits, and different types of furniture. And not only would farming allow you to be able to do all of these things and give you access to all of this extra stuff, but I think they could also make it interesting by allowing this to be a good means of getting bells. Because right now, when it comes to getting bells, in my opinion, it's mainly fishing. There's fishing, bug catching, which I feel like bug catching gets you less bells, but I don't really do it actively, so I can't necessarily say that for sure, but fishing seems to be the one that would get more bells, in my opinion. Or you can do turnips. It seems like those are the main ways to get bells. Because yeah, you can run around and sell all your fruit and everything, but you catch one shark and you've probably already made more than what you would have if you sold the fruit. So I think having a totally different way to get money that's not just running around shaking the trees for fruits, I think would be really interesting. And what would be cool too is not only would farming allow you to have a new way of getting bells, but it would also give you something else to spend bells on. Because not only would you need to buy the supplies to do the farming in general, but I was also thinking that maybe you could actually build a greenhouse. Because in the winter, what are you really going to grow? And maybe even that could get expanded on, or you could buy things within the greenhouse. Like it starts off as just a base, and there's only maybe one thing you can grow in there, and then you can buy new stuff for it, and you can grow even more stuff in there. I feel like that alone could be a whole new thing. But to go back to talking about the crafting when it comes to farming, I think this could come into play when it comes to seasonal events, because they could have a fall thing where you could plant your own pumpkin, grow it, and then carve your own design on it. Because we already have the fireworks where you can put your own designs on it, so I don't really think it's too far-fetched of an idea to be able to put your own designs on the pumpkin. And speaking of pumpkins, they could even have an event where you try to grow the biggest and heaviest pumpkin. But maybe by doing different tasks or giving the Scarecrow villager different types of vegetables, you can eventually get better soil. And that better soil can help you when it comes to the fall event of growing the biggest and heaviest pumpkin. I just feel like farming in general really fits Animal Crossing. And it fits the theme that Animal Crossing goes for, which is just supposed to be a relaxing, do whatever you want type of game. It's meant to go on every day, it's meant to check different things, it's meant to have daily tasks, and I feel like farming fits perfectly with all of that. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the first episode of Add-On. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this add-on. Do you like this idea? Do you have other ideas for it? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and want to support my content, feel free to subscribe. And until next time, I'll see y'all later. Take care, everyone.